A heart-rending scream rang out in the courtyards. Meanwhile, I was studying in the garage, enjoying the spring twilight over a bottle of beer, but I didn't have time. Something that has been terrorizing us for a long time has taken someone away again, and maybe I'll be his victim too. But it's worth starting over. I live in an urban-type settlement, in a 2-story house on the 2nd floor. The studio apartment was inherited from a brother who moved to the city. I don't care where and how to live. The most important thing is that there is a roof under my head and everything you need is nearby. Life would be peaceful, if not for one thing. Something wandering around the courtyards of our village. You can ask a bunch of questions, but the answer is the same: no one cares. Do not bother your head with all these subtleties. Moreover, the settlement is close to the status of a ghost settlement. That's why I don't think anyone will help us. What is this something, you ask? If I could talk to the dead, I answered the question, but I'm not deprived of such a gift, so I can't answer. Of course, there are those who have seen the monster, but the catch is that they all describe it differently. Then a 2-meter steel alien, then a mothman, then a chupacabra. The only thing that does not change in the description is the smell of fish. Lovecraft's stories with his terrible marine aesthetics immediately come to mind. Only there is no sea near the village, one seedy river, all the fish there have died. Does it count? When and how this monster appeared is unclear. Suddenly, people began to disappear, and abruptly and quickly, as if they had fallen through the ground. They thought they had just quietly moved out, but it is unknown where. There was a version about a cannibal maniac, and they made a mistake again. They also searched in the river, and again nothing. Then the most attentive investigator, my old school friend, noticed that the water had dropped a little and turned a little black. It was one evening, he came to me to drink beer. From a few glasses, he told me a little more. He stayed a little near the river that day, wandered along the shore. I went a little further, where the water is too deep, and no one swims. It seemed to him as if someone had surfaced from under the water. He didn't have time to really see, but he realized that there was something big in the water, and clearly it didn't seem to him. He did not become a comrade to tell anything. He told me first. After that evening there were rumors about a monster in our village. It is unclear where these rumors came from, but it is always easier to accept that otherworldly forces are to blame. Otherwise, how else to explain the missing people and the smell of fish in the morning? There was simply no other explanation. Moreover, over time, screams began to be heard at night. It became clear to everyone, not a person is involved here, but a real extraterrestrial evil. It all sounds ridiculous, but that's the way it is. It was like being in a typical horror story. In total, 10 people were missing, 11, taking into account tonight. Most likely, I will be the 12th. Clacking sounds were heard from the courtyards. Something was approaching the garage cooperative. I was hiding in the dark of the garage, trying not to even breathe. The TSK was getting closer and closer. And so, this monster appeared in front of me. A gigantic crustacean creature without a head. The pointed feet clattered loudly on the ground, shaking everything around. The claws, real crushers with teeth, clattered, hitting something every now and then. An orange light shone from the hole where the head should have been, as if from hell. Pale flesh pulsed, small tentacles wriggled, basking in the infernal light. Various parts of the victims' bodies bulged out of this flesh. Someone else was alive and calling for help, but because of the guttural growl, their pleas could not be heard. I don't know what saved me then. The sharp smell of gasoline and diesel fuel or lady luck. The monster stood for a minute and moved on. I sat in the garage until the morning. As soon as the first rays of the sun appeared, I returned to repairing my car in order to escape from here. I'll move in with my brother, stay with him for a while until I find a place to live. Yes, that's how it will be. I'll sort out that apartment somehow. I'll come up with a reason for moving. But I don't intend to stay here anymore. It was enough for me to see someone who steals people at night.